Hey, Paul here, Paul Cloughie, Personal Development Unplugged, deconstructing complicated things and making them easier for your personal development and my personal development. But that's not what this quick 5-minute quickie mad world episode's about. It's about me getting frustrated, but also getting worried. Worried for the people who are getting anxious about this because of what I'm seeing. And I wonder, first of all, question to you, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And are you feeling sometimes the things of what you're seeing? And it's all about a dripping tap. The drip, drip, drip of a dripping tap. Doesn't make sense, does it? But it will do when you listen after this.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Cloughie. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, my friend, how are you doing? Just preparing and thinking about, well, the longer podcast. Longer podcast I'm going to do on loneliness. But this morning I was, guess what, writing in my journal, as I do. One of the very few things that's been so consistent over these last few weeks, which is really nice, really. And I've been asking myself lots of questions. And I'm going to tell you about one of the answers I got at another Mad World 5-minute quickie. But I was also thinking with my pen. And I was recalling, and I don't know if you're like this. Where I go for my walks, take my dog for a walk. I go for walks in the daytime, my exercising, go down the shops, do my social distancing, which I'm getting a little bit tired of. And I'll tell you for why. Because I think people are now becoming paranoid. I've never known a distance of 2 meters being so long. Walking on the cliff tops with the dog, I've seen people move to the other side of the cliff top. It's like 40 meters away. What is that? Why are you so frightened? I've seen people stop and suddenly start not panicking, but thinking, where can I go? Where can I go? Get out of the way. And I think 6 weeks ago, this wasn't even in our psyche. And I've been thinking about it because it's really frustrating to see people being affected this way, and I really hope you're not, and if you are, we're going to do something about it. Don't worry about that. And I think I know the reason why people are being, or not beginning to act like this, but they're acting like this. Because if you remember, or certainly my memories are, within the first week or two, 2 meters, people didn't even think what 2 meters was. They were still getting a lot closer than 2 meters. Some people were just ignoring it. And then people got to understand what a 2 meter rule was because there were like marks on the pavement outside for queuing in for shops. However, once you got in the shop, you crossed each other because the aisles aren't 2 meters wide, so it didn't make a lot of sense, does it? And you've got the push chairs or you push alongs and you clean them and you don't clean them and you pick up stuff, you put it, it's so frustrating. But the thing is, that's how it started. And then I can see over the weeks, things have got a little bit worse and worse still, and even worse still. And my little theory about that is it's like a dripping tap. We've all had a dripping tap, haven't we? Or something like that. Something that we know isn't quite right, but it's in the background. It's not major, is it? It's just dripping. Maybe there's like a little overflow pipe that drips a little bit, One of the things, you could mend it really quickly. You could do something about it, but you don't. Because it's just in the background. But the thing is, unconsciously, it's always there. Drip, drip, drip. Guess what comes next? Drip. But you know what I mean. It's always there. Consistently, just dripping in the back of your mind. And the thing is, I started to think, well, all the things we're getting now is looking at the news, And in the UK now, we've been having such a negative news anyway, but saying, when are we going to have a release of this lockdown? We've got to have a release of this lockdown. And now there's rumours that there is going to be a release. And now the news is going, what are we going to do? Maybe it's too soon. Who's going to be at fault if it's too soon? But if you don't release a lockdown, you'll be in the wrong. I think, gee, all this negative information coming through. And it's consistent like that dripping tap. It starts just in the background. So we have a little bit of the news. We have a little bit of the newspapers, the radio. Everywhere you turn, there's a little bit more. Maybe you just see it unconsciously in a headline, or maybe in the background of the radio that's going on, or you hear someone's conversation, because every conversation is about this bloody COVID-19. Then there's the conspiracy theories. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes I'm listening to some of this stuff, and I'm thinking, did we overreact? I don't know. Could every country overreact apart from a few? But even that, like that could be my slight bias, which means I get a dripping tap on that bias of conspiracy theories. So maybe I'm getting drip, drip, drip on the conspiracy, but I'm also getting the drip, drip, drip of the negative news, the negative conversations, the ones that are in my foreground, the ones which are in my background. And I'm thinking, if this is happening to us, at the moment it just makes me cross, which to me, I think there's a better way to be, because I'm now looking for the right, I want a right way out of this. I want to get back to normal. I want normal, well, normal-ish, and I just want to get there. I want to get on with our lives. And when you get on with your life, start producing things that are creative, that just make you sing and do things. But I do wonder about these people that have had that dripping tap, and it's been winding them slowly and more, getting more and more anxious, but they're not noticing it. You see, I'm sure if those people saw themselves like a video of themselves coming towards me and suddenly disappearing 40 yards over there to come back 40 yards later, or crossing the road in this, we've got lovely sunshine and there's people there with scarves, hats, big coats, gloves, and I'm on the bloody cliff top where there's fresh air, for God's sake. And I just wonder if that drip, drip, drip of negativity is making people more anxious without knowing. As I said, if they saw a video of themselves, certainly 6 weeks ago, they say that wouldn't be me. That wouldn't be me. I wouldn't act like that. I'm sure they'd say that. Now, here's the thing. What do we do about it? For me, I'm going to, I get angry and frustrated about it because I just want to get back to normal. I feel everything has gone too haywire. So I'm trying to do normal things when I go out. I'll just walk. I'm not going to be paranoid about the people coming towards me. I'm just going to walk past them. They're fine. They're lovely people. Think good thoughts, lovely thoughts, happy days. Happy days with a Z. I'm going to look for my friends to be as natural as possible. But the thing is, what I wanted to say was, maybe have you checked your dripping taps? Can you turn them off? And also, what can you do instead as your own positive dripping tap? Now, for me, it's reading. It's listening to what I think are balanced people, giving a balanced view, maybe not the view that I take, but it's educational, trying to find out what's happening. Or maybe it's like listening to podcasts, obviously like the one you're listening to now, with processes and thoughts and teachings and learnings and how-tos to deal with positive things, learning new skills. And not only learning new skills, but turning on the old skills again. Doing things in a positive, I say that again, doing things in a positive way towards a positive end, a goal in mind. Doesn't matter how big that goal is, it could be a tiny little goal, but just doing it. So my question to you is, and this is the reason for the whole of this podcast, this little episode, is I just want you to check if you've had a dripping tap a dripping tack of negativity, or a dripping tap, it's easy for me to say, well it wasn't, but a dripping tap of a bias. Maybe we need to get a bit more balance, a bit more harmony, and looking for that harmony, looking for that balance. I'll call it balance view. I don't like balance because that's just, to me, it's pretty dead. It's just flat. But some type of balance view, so we're getting a true view, so we can act normally. And there's a big and, if you find there is, and you're finding it's difficult to pull yourself away from that anxiety, away from that fear, please let me know. Let me know the type of contexts that are causing you that issue. Because then we'll come up with a podcast, we'll come up with a process, whether it's open your eyes process or a hypnotic process or both. Who cares? Who knows? But we'll come up with something that helps you. Because when it helps you, the old Cloughie guarantee comes into action. Doesn't come in very often, but when it comes in, it's rock solid. I guarantee you're not alone. And that will affect so many other people. So I want you to be really, 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 trebly, really brave. And bloody email me. Tell me, if I'm feeling anxious about something, what is it? And if you can hear that whirring in the background, if it's still on here at the editing, I've got a helicopter floating up above. Probably there's too many people on the beach. Who knows? Anyway, I don't care. I hope they're enjoying the sun, as long as they're not causing any problems with anybody else. It was so nice to the walk I had today. The sun's out. There was children playing on the beach, doing no harm to anybody. There was a family sitting by do you remember that talk about Fisherman's Walk and that fountain, that natural little fountain pond? A family having a little picnic. Just a little picnic in the sun. And it made my heart sing, thinking, this is normal. This is my normal. My frustration just suddenly disappeared when I saw that, and I thought, fucking great. That is awesome. Fucking awesome. Excuse me swearing, but that's what I felt. I have to tell you what I feel. Because that's what it was. That's it. No more swearing. Not today anyway. Not on here. But let me know. Please do let me know. How do you do that, Paul? I hear you ask that so many times. Just email me, as quite a few of you have done already. But just email me. feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. There you go. And remember, even have a look at those discounted programs I've got. I've discounted them as far as I can, so if it helps, it helps. And there's not a 30-day money-back guarantee. There is a money-back guarantee if it's not to your liking and doesn't get the result you want. Can't say fairer than that, can I? Enjoy. Let me know how you feel. And just check that dripping tap. Okay, let's turn it off. Now, this was totally just, I was waiting for a coaching call, and I thought, bam, I'm just going to do this quickly. Okay, so enjoy every heartbeat. If it's sunny where you are, get some vitamin D. It's awesome. See you later. Bye-bye. Before you go, my friend, I'd like to ask you a question. Did you learn something from this episode? I hope you did, because even though every episode may not be the one that really floats your boat, sets you, alight, hopefully there's a takeaway in each and every episode for you. And I'd love to know what it was. So please do email me at feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. It's a personal email to me. I'd love to know, so we can carry on doing this work that will allow you to exceed your dreams. And what's the payment for this? Payment, Cloughie? What are you talking about, payment? I thought it was free. Well, it's like, pay it forward. And if you could pay this forward in 2 ways, or maybe 3. The first way is, please share it. Share this podcast with as many people as you could. And you can. It's very easy. Just press that share button. Send it off by email to them. You'd love to. This is something you might like. I'll get that right, Paul. something you might enjoy. And hey, if you could, a real big pay it forward to me is wherever you're getting this podcast, is it iTunes, Castbox or Stitcher or whichever you're getting it from, Google Play, I don't know. Would you please just leave a review? Because the review really helps people find this podcast. There's thousands out there, and I want to direct people to this podcast. And the way to do it is by reviews. So if you could do that, if you could share, you could do that. And also just make sure that you're subscribed so you get this episode and every other episode on a Wednesday and a Saturday. If you could do all of that, my little heart will sing. And if you want me to sing, well, you'll have to wait and see. Enjoy. But please do all of that. Make my heart sing. Bye-bye now.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.